All right, welcome back to another episode of the Top of Off Cricket Podcast. I am your host, Kevin Henry, and with me, I got my boys, Walter, and we got proof of life from Sammy. So I'll be asking, how's Sammy doing? Proof of life,
Sammy good,
right?
Sammy good.
Yeah, man, I'm well. Giving thanks,
Yeah.
Giving thanks.
Melissa
Still no electricity, but
Melissa ain't got no
the
problem
car
with
tank's
Sammy.
full. Yeah, no problem.
As Walter said, Melissa ain't got no problems with Sammy, so she left Sammy alone.
Hey.
Anyways, fellas, T20 series ongoing in Bangladesh. West Indies have taken an unassailable 2-0 lead. We kind of reverted to our old habits a bit in the match that was played today, going from 106 for 1 to 149. Was that for 9? I think it was.
For 9, yeah. For
yes,
9, yeah.
149 for 9. I was sitting there and I'm watching the match and I'm thinking to myself, I'm having an eerie feeling of if we lose a wicket right now, we're going to lose momentum and we're going to lose wickets in a cluster. And so said, so done, because typically West Indies, we usually go one, just bring two bring three, and then it's like a house of cards, right? But that brings me to the question. Is Darren Sammy, right now he's what, about 5 months, 6 months into his reign as all formats coach, right? But I've been asking myself lately, is he better suited for a T20 role, right? And I'll tell you guys why I'm asking that question. Is Darren Sammy better suited for a T20 role rather than all formats? And the second thing we want to talk about tonight is, I've been keeping an eye on the Leeward Islands tournament. Leeward Islands cricket tournament is going on right now. I think it's being held in St. Kitts. And let me not say former, but West Indies opening batsman Mikail Louie has rattled up 4 consecutive centuries. Now, when you look at that and you think to yourself, given the opposition that he's coming up against, him being a West Indies player, that is something that he's supposed to do, right? He is supposed to do that. I expected no less from him. So those are the 2 things that we're going to talk about, but we're going to handle the case of West Indies coach Darren Sammy for us. Sammy, you say you got an answer prepared for that one. So I'll let you go.
I got an answer for the next question. That is Sammy one.
Oh, yeah, answer for the next question. That is Sammy. Walter, you got an answer for the Sammy one. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Hear what I say. Sammy's always said 2 things could be right. This Sammy thing. But anyway, I thought about what you said. And one, I am going to, sometimes when I'm in my feelings, I get vexed and I say, I don't want to trust the process. Right? I can trust the Sammy process. Thus far, in terms of how he has done as a coach, he take a beating and a half wherever he played in all formats of the game. So it would be unfair for us to think to judge him at this particular point in time. Why? We play Australia at home, arguably the best bowling lineup in the world. We play India with one of the best teams in the world, right? Has he made some mistakes? Should he have taken some players when I think that, yes, I think he should have. Should he have, since he became coach, dealt with the Darren Bravo issue, put aside whatever issue, because we know, we hear from way back in the day, there are things that he could have done to make his life a little better, right? But he's a human being. And I honestly don't think that no coach, whether he's a great director or not, right, can truly save West Indies cricket. I am going to hope that he is doing some stuff, building on what was done in the past. And so I don't think, to answer your question, I don't think that we can judge him at this particular point in time.
But it is
Because
not,
Kevin,
it's not about him being savior of West Indies cricket, Walter, right? We understand that we need an act to God right now. You understand? It's not about West Indies cricket in the whole. It's about his role, right? What is he really suited to? Right? That's what I'm wanting to know. Is he better suited as a white ball coach as opposed to all formats, which would be the test match and the white ball?
before Sammy go, I don't think we can judge him yet.
Mm.
Let's give him a year. Let's give him the New Zealand series, the Sri Lanka, Pakistan. Remember we said we initially said next year, July. And then we could start Kosi. You get half a summer.
You got 6 months.
yeah. Half from the yeah.
Gentlemen, let us say I went to some school in England, right?
Mm.
To learn how to coach cricket. Me, Sam, right? And I come back and I get all my,
Paperwork.
coaching degrees, right? All my paperwork, as we just say, right? All right. And I coach a county team, and I did well out there. And I come back to the Caribbean now. The coaching job for the West Indies test side is open, right? And Brian Lara throws his hat in the ring. And Brian Lara is not on my level in terms of paperwork. Who would you choose as coach for the West Indies team? Maybe that's an unfair question, but there's a point I want to make. Who would you go with?
I personally think they would go with the principal to Spain.
Yeah, without a doubt.
If I were to make the call, I would go with the principal to Spain too, right? The reason why I would go with Sammy, I would argue for Sammy as white ball coach over test cricket coach, is when you look at Sammy's career, where has he done the best in? Right? He's led the West Indies team to white ball victory, right? We all remember that. We all saw the picture with him holding the trophies in two hands or what have you and celebrating, right? He has that. That must count for something. So I'm saying this to say that the first thing we got to recognize is, right, white ball, especially T20, Sammy thing. I know, and look at the record he's done well ODI too. No doubt, right?
Well,
across the board, we can say, quote unquote, right? Quote unquote. Given that West Indies cricket just bad right now. The point is, Sammy has had greater success in white ball. You look at him as a player, we get that. Now, this year we decided that we want Sammy now to be coach for the test side. In my view, and especially with the things that he has done, it's going to take a much longer time for him to get his foot in, especially given how he approaches things. Because we can all agree that test cricket is more demanding than white ball cricket. Now, if you note, I'm not even talking about the fact that him being all formats coach means that he doesn't have the time, especially given the amount of cricket we're playing, he doesn't have the time to devote to planning and strategizing and coaching. Look, we all saw the other day he had to leave England to go fly to Barbados to prepare to play the Australians. Not to play Bangladesh, to play the Australians. A 1 week camp to play the Australians. After the Gabon, we know them men as well. You said they come in with blood in their eyes. So it's two things, fellas. Him being all formats coach and all the demands of it. But then for me, the other thing is, well, when it comes to test cricket, let us say we forget about white ball cricket now. And we say Sammy going to be the test coach. Even if he didn't have those things to do and he just focusing on test cricket, it would still be a climb for him. Because when you look at his career, that hasn't been the thing in my view that we could say, yeah, Sammy was this, That's my opinion.
I can't equate.
My opinion.
I can't equate him being the average test cricketer. Because and coaching are two different things. Because Kohli, for example, the previous coach, he didn't play for West Indies, right? So, so I don't think that really matters. I think a lot of times the best coaches are not the best players. But I agree with your point. And I think that this is something that's not being dealt with. Because coming out of reports in the past, and Sammy and Kohli became the coaches because of one of the plethora of inquiries and research and where's the words that they use in West Indies cricket for them to better West Indies cricket. So and then all of a sudden they didn't agree with Kohli, and Miles Bascom said they chose Sammy. So my argument is that the fact is that Sammy is the coach right now. I'm not going to sack him. I don't think he should be sacked. I think that we should go with him, as you said, because he needs some time. I'll give him the fact that we chose him. I'll give him that time. Should he have been the white ball coach, the red ball coach? No. But the fact that we have him now, I will trust his process. Because regardless of who you choose, our cricket, in every sense of the meaning, in every sense, as Kevin said, is not fit for purpose. We are bad. We are bad. We are dung bad as a cricketing nation. We just play an inter-county match at number 79 on the quarantine. 69, sorry. By the way, Rasta won 69. But anyway, well, just kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, that's my one for the day. Sorry, fellas. On the pitch, and I remember when we were young, we used to go to inter-county games. And the standard was so high. So, I mean, I hate being a revisionist, but sometimes you can't help it. So, if Guyana is supposed to be one of the major cricketing nations in the Caribbean, and our highest form of cricket to choose our players, we are playing on terrible pitches.
We got bigger problems.
Yeah.
Bigger problems than Sammy, right?
Than Sammy.
So the reason why I asked that question, right, is because of what you said, Sam, right? When you look at his career, right? Where was he most successful? Right? And the formats of the game that he was most successful in was in the shorter formats. And I think his mind is kind of like trained in that way, right? Yes, he was the captain of the West Indies team across formats. But where did he have most success, right? And I do agree. It will take time for him to learn the ins and outs, learn the ropes of what it takes to be a test match coach, right?
Mm.
And first thing people have to understand, it doesn't matter who you put to coach the West Indies team. The results will remain same. It doesn't matter, right? What I do think is his coaching staff needs a bit of tweaking. I think his coaching staff needs a bit of tweaking. And when I speak of that tweaking, I'm talking about the batting coach specifically. Right? I'm talking about Floyd Reefer. Floyd Reefer, in my estimation, hasn't delivered. Floyd Reefer hasn't delivered. And it's about time Cricket West Indies, Miles Bascom, and even Sammy get brave and be like, you know what? Floyd, thank you for your services.
Are you saying you would pick Brian Lara over Floyd Reefer?
In a month of Sundays.
You know why we could laugh, right? But
yeah.
Come back to a point which is often made. Yeah, we need a team psychologist, blah, blah, blah. Now, for me, a man like Brian Lara, who has toured this world and played test cricket everywhere, there are things that he can help our cricketers with that a psychologist might not be able to, in the sense that he can relate to the pressures our batters are going through. You understand? Remember at one point, I think sometime after he broke Sobers' record, he had to take a break from cricket. And in his book, he said he went to New York and spoke to someone. Brian Lara has gone through a lot of things. Seeing cricket, the positive, the negatives of it. And remember, he became a big star at a time when, we didn't have T20 and all of that. So he was thrown into this world that even Viv Richards and Clive Lloyd could not relate to,
Yeah.
That was what Brian Lara went through. Suddenly the world wants you, to talk to you and for you to be in their ads and all of that.
I'll tell you what, Sammy. I'll go this route, right? I think he'll supplement as a psychologist well, right?
Yeah.
I think he'll supplement a psychologist well. But yeah, that's where I think we'll stop there with the conversation on Darren Sammy. And I think we all can agree he needs time, right? And I'm gonna say it again, because you're gonna have some people gonna jump in the comments and they're gonna cost Sammy 6 ways on 7 days, right? And I'll remind you guys, it doesn't matter who goes there. You have to understand where West Indies cricket is in this moment. The current condition of West Indies cricket. It doesn't matter who coaches the team, right? They've had better coaches than Sammy. And where have we gone? You understand me? So you have to understand and appreciate that first. But with that being said, fellas, so
1 second, fellas, Kevin. One second. Sorry. I know why, as you say, West Indies cricket is bad. When we play Rajendra Chandrika, but you could go on again.
No comment.
Listen, you make Clyde Butts turn in the grave, right? Anyways, rest in peace to the big man. Mikail Louie, Leeward Islands Cricket Association tournament is going on right now, and Mikail Louie has rattled up 4 consecutive centuries, right? And I've been paying attention to things, and the tournament has been subpar, just like all the other regional territories, their individual tournaments when you look at the scores and stuff, and you go like, what are we really doing, right? But Louis has risen to the top, and he's a cream. He's up top there, and I feel like I wouldn't get too excited about it, right? He's doing what he's supposed to do. At that level, he's supposed to score that amount of runs. I see people, I see a lot of people, the divisions and them, they all, yeah, and going on. And I'm like, okay, so he's doing what he's supposed to do. At that level, he's supposed to do that. You're supposed to tear that bowling apart. You're a West Indies player. You're an international cricketer. I see Sam, I see you smiling.
From the time you dropped that thing and said, listen, we need to talk about this, I just start shaking my head. So he made 109 versus Montserrat, 115 versus St. Martin. Sorry, 109 not out versus Montserrat. I didn't even know Montserrat does play cricket. Whenever I think of Montserrat, I think of a place with 1,000 people, if so much, and a volcano.
Nah, they got
no offense to the people. No offense to the Montserratians. No offense. But anyway, I didn't know that cricket was a thing out there. But fine. 170 versus Nevis, 108 versus Anguilla. You know what's wrong with these scores, Kevin and Walter? The fact that Mikail Louie got out. He should have been not out in all these matches.
I agree.
Right? Listen. If you, Kevin Henry, at your age now, right?
Mm.
And you go to some primary school, you play some primary school kids, they're bowling at you. Yes, I would expect you to put up 100s. That's how I'd want to liken these scores that Mikail Louie put up there.
Yeah.
I don't expect the cricket in these islands to be at a great level. So he's supposed to do that. And here's the other thing too that I'm concerned about. That because we don't have quality cricket at those levels, there's a false sense of achievement for people like Mikail Louie. Right? I don't know what that does. Fine. It's like if you're playing a bowling machine, you could say, all right, you get some practice in. Maybe it does that, I suppose. But I am in no way impressed or overjoyed or what have you. No. What did the other people score? Maybe it would be good to see what the scorecard looks like. That might give me some more insight into what's happening. But yeah.
There in terms of runs scored and batsmen making runs, there's not a whole lot to write home about. Right? There's not a lot to write home about. I've seen a few half centuries and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That explains my point again. Because if you, Kevy, you went and you played, you in your age now and with your skills, you go and play with some primary school kids. You go make the most runs and the others might barely make a 40 here or a thing here or what have you. And Uncle Kevy go make a set of runs like Mikail Louie.
Yeah.
So, yes, sir.
In terms of Mikail Louie playing with a set of primary schools. It's really right there, that ball. It is. But here what? As I said, he's supposed to do it, and I'll give him extra props. You know why? Because I think with the intercounty they had, I've been watching. Did they have? If there's any centuries, they had only one.
I think only one century was scored.
Yeah, 1 century.
Yeah.
Right in Guyana. So my point is that Mikail Louie, this what kept me asking. He's supposed to do that, and he's making the best of it. And you know what? I'm happy. He's mad that he wasn't picked and he was dropped, and he said, "Oh, here I am." However, his next real test is going to be when he come up against Guyana, Barbados, Trinidad, and that's when if he score those 400s in the next upcoming, then is when I can say, okay, all right. But my point is, I hate to say it when French is right. By the way, Francis are one of our good friends who we beg for come on this. But if he come on this, you guys, you think my stuff is crazy, he's way out there, right? But I'll say this: a lot of times, the Mikail Louie, the Joel Andrews, the Kevlon Andersons, the Shamron Hetty Myers,
Mm.
a lot of these players have played before their time. Mikail Louie scored one season, made runs in one season, and he ended up in West Indies team. One of the things I love about the Australians is that you could make a run still no till never weary.
With the acceptance of Sam Constas.
Yeah. They try something with he, but I don't know, and they feel they go against it, and I don't think I don't know they saw something, but I don't know why. I don't know he must see somebody child. Anyway, my point is that you when you make an Australia team,
You've earned it.
you've earned it. And our players have been making West Indies team and making a good 50, 2, 3 good 50s and think that they deserve to be in the West Indies team. Yes, that is my point is that we have been getting rid of people throughout the last 20 to last 30 years without any succession plan, just because a man look good. So yes, I agree with Mikail Louie made all those hundreds. He's supposed to do it. But where it really counts next is at the actual West Indies fifth over. If you make 400, I'd be like, well done, brother. Go and do it again next year.
You know what I'll be happy about? What I would like to what I would like to see or someone to tell us, did Mikail Louie correct some of his flaws during that tournament?
That's the question. Yeah, that's a good question.
You understand me? I don't care how much runs Mikail Louie scored at the Leeward Islands tournament, right? I don't care. I honestly don't care. Has he corrected some of his flaws? He can't. Obviously, it'll be difficult to iron out everything, but have one or two been addressed? You know, is he still hanging his bat outside the off stump? Is he still playing at balls that he ain't got no business playing at? Right? Has his technique been given a thorough examination during that? Because that's when you know how good you are, right? How long can you stand up to genuinely good balls, which your technique being tested over and over and over? I guess we'll find out because the standard raises a bit when it comes to the Super 50 in a few days.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Same thing when it goes to the 4-day tournament that begins, I think, sometime late January, right? But what I would like to see is Mikail Louie in an A-team environment being tested at a higher level. That's what I want to see. Let me see how long your technique can hold up. I don't care if you score 400 runs because I know the bowling in that tournament was bad. Nobody can tell me different. The bowling was bad. Just like it was bad in the intercounty tournament in Guyana, and the batting was piss poor in the intercounty tournament in Guyana. The bowling there was bad. The batting was bad also. And that gives you a picture of where West Indies cricket is. You understand? Because you have to understand, if any one of these players do well, there's a high chance or likelihood of them being in their respective regional teams. You understand me? Mm. Now, you got players playing regional cricket and their game is not fit for it because they came up against mediocre bowling or mediocre batting when they were playing in their territorial tournaments. And it comes back to what we were saying. People are clapping for 40s and 50s, right?
Okay, V, question.
Sure.
On the Mikail Louie scores, those 4 centuries, how much time did he take to make those centuries? Because what I would say, is if he made those centuries with a strike rate of, let's say, somewhere between 45 and 55 thereabout, I would say okay. In other words, if he spent a lot of time at the crease, a decent amount of time, we could say, well, all right, there is concentration there. So fine, the bowling is not great, but he spent time. You understand?
So here's something you got to think about when with batsmen, right?
Yeah.
It don't matter who the opposition is, you still got to go there and score the runs.
Correct.
And a lot of people can get out when the bowling is not up to par because you think you can smash this person out to the park.
Correct.
Repeatedly, right?
True.
And then you're not focusing and you play bat upon catch or you get wrapped in front or the ball sneak through your defenses. Something, right? There's a lot of freak ways people get out to full tosses and that kind of madness.
Yeah.
They're so confident or overly confident, right? So the run still has to be made. Respect to him for that, right?
I agree.
Doesn't matter the opposition, but like we're saying, he's supposed to. Given I said earlier, I want to see when West Indies players come back to regional cricket, they absolutely dominate. You understand me? When you come back to regional cricket, Tevin Imlach did it, right? You absolutely dominate because you're coming from an international setting, an international environment. The standards are higher, right? So when you come back a step down, you do what you need to do. And that's the problem with people like Athanaze and them. They come back and they're not. You're like, what are you doing? Right? And that's the difference. You're supposed to come back and score boatloads of runs. You're supposed to come back and take boatloads of wickets. You should be able to see. It should be discernible. The ball's quality. You understand? He in a different hemisphere as compared to these other batsmen. The bowler is quality. He in a different hemisphere as compared to the other bowlers. You should be able to see that that difference, but we don't. When you look at people like Steve Smith and them go back to state cricket, that man, you could see the difference. You understand me? That man left the Australian setup and go back to Vietnam. You can see the difference.
Yeah, that man's just turned out 100 like it's without sweating, dude. It's the next level because of the repetition that that men do. Like,
right?
Yeah, fellas, I'll say this though, and I'm stealing this idea from French. For us to get better, as I said, we have to be around players that so our players could see how people. I would invite in our one-day tournament, I would invite Nepal. I would invite an Afghanistan team in our four-day tournament. I would invite Zimbabwe. And we work out something. I would invite probably a Scotland and Ireland. And work out something with them and say, listen to this here. We're inviting you. You guys, we don't have the best. None of us have the best not infrastructure, first class system. Let us try and do something here. So we will play with spinners of a higher quality. That's just a left field. So when somebody like Mikail Louie goes up to that next level, he'll get international cricket is here, he'll get something here. So the gap between that and this here and here is not that much. I'm just saying that as people who are from the developing world, we have to, with not a lot of lot of resources, we have to come up with these kind of ideas, like left field, like ideas. For me, it's just an idea. Because we are going to be left behind.
It starts there, right?
Yeah.
So
because
it already happens in some regard, That's what the A team tours do. But I get you. I see what you wanted. You're talking about our regional 4-day to have them in there.
And
But for that to happen, it comes back to the money side of things. That's one.
The economics, yes.
so,
It
but
comes
that's
back also, it's a scheduling issue also. Because here it is, you bring in, you want to say Nepal, Afghanistan, Zimbabwe.
meanwhile, I want
Mm,
you. You don't have to get all the best players. You get some
true,
players. You get the
true,
decent ones. You
You
understand?
get in
true,
the
true,
18.
true.
You get in
Yeah,
the 18.
All right,
right.
yeah.
And what's happening? I was like, hey, you get this amount of money. All right, you gotta prepare for your own stay. I negotiated with you. What are we doing? How are we doing this? This is for your
Mm,
development. This is for our development. The big people, I would say, you know what? The big people are not looking after us as we should have. Let's find
mm,
a way. Maybe I could reciprocate later. And that's how
mm,
you get others. We sometimes we always is one the big fancy girl with the big body and the nice breasts. Or we want the best everything. Sometimes we gotta lower we standards a little, forget what we want. So
mm,
when you get the nice girl, the big body girl say, why should they with me? Anyway, I need to stop with the nonsense. My point is that if we think outside of the box and we help ourselves, you never know. Because when you if you get a tournament like that, and then is when the other people start seeing, hey, this tournament is a decent level. We might get sponsors. And another thing I'll see,
mm,
I think we need to have a unified from Jamaica right down to Guyana, uh, a first division tournament that is almost similar right through. Depending, and I mean, we have to take into consideration the islands and everything. So
mm,
it goes back to the whole Mikail Louie thing. So when Mikail Louie makes those 400s, we know
mm,
it's a high quality.
mm,
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we're questioning basically what Kev is doing is questioning those hundreds,
Mhm.
Those hundred, I'm not, it's not easy. I like the fact that the young man scored the 400. Sorry,
Walter,
Kev.
are the hundreds fit for purpose?
We listen to me, but I can give him this. I didn't see that
mm,
for some reasons I normally follow the other, but I've been busy with work and
mm,
stuff. I would check every other body. I'm quite sure he's the only person that got 200s in all the trial matches. Probably Barbados. Somebody in Barbados, somebody. Maybe,
mm.
because they're a little different. But you check right throughout. Watch and see how many people scored. So let's give him that. He did it.
He did. All I want to know is he
Mm,
working on his flaws?
Mm-hmm.
mm,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
How that will tell me how hungry he is. Right. When I see Mikail Louie in a matter of a few weeks or days or whatever the case it might be, I should be able to see, like when I was watching Shea Hope against India recently, and I could see the adjustments made. You understand me? From one
mm,
inning to the next. I should be able to, when the Mikail Louie that I saw at Sabina Park, that's not the one I should see in a couple of weeks. That's not
mm.
the one I should see.
Kevin, question. What do you think about Athens today?
I was pleasantly surprised. He put the sweep shot away.
He's still out with it though.
No, see, listen. There's a
It was there. It was there. It
it
was
was
there.
there for the taking.
It
That's the
was there. It was there.
difference,
It was there.
right?
It was there. It was
He
there.
didn't make any connection. He didn't make
Yeah,
the
it
right
was
connection.
there.
Sorry.
It was
The
there.
other ones, if he can get bowled down, he get LBW.
Yeah, it was there. Yeah.
And they were horrible shots, right? Premeditated horrible shots. That slog sweep that he played, it didn't look premeditated.
It
But
was
it
there.
looked
It was
like I
there.
didn't make good connection because he got good height on it. He didn't get the distance. right?
Yeah,
So
it could have gone. Another day would have
it
gone.
was good to see him navigate that tortoise, because it seems like once he gets there, it's like, how do I push on, right? How do I get out of this zone right here now? And it's like he wants to be in a hurry to get out of it, when all he has to do is the basics. So it was refreshing to see him playing and looking for singles and being more selective in his shot making. I paid attention to all of that, right? So kudos to the young man. Got a decent half century. It was good.
Again, as you said with your friend Rutherford, he should have been dropped, man. He played backed off full one blow.
Less said about that, the better.
Okay.
I was gonna ask you all about that.
Listen, I personally think
if you were surprised when you saw the team, because I thought
I wasn't
just gonna rest
surprised.
him for these two.
I wasn't surprised, but here's a chance for Akeem Ogis to get a look in, or even Amir Jangu, who hasn't had a chance.
Hey, I keep putting these little buys.
This is a perfect opportunity to give Amir Jangu a chance to get the game. You understand? This is the last game of the tour. Give him a chance. Sharfield needs to be taken out of the firing line. It's not a drop in per se, right? It is not a drop in per se. Sharfield, listen, you're having a kind of a difficult time right now. Let me take you out to the firing line. We don't want to make things more complicated up here. Take him out to the firing line.
You know what I noticed? And I hope if he doesn't, I'd probably rest some people and probably play him next match, but to bat him lower. Just not to dent his confidence. But play the others since we've won the series.
That could be an option for Darren Sammy on what's that, Friday, I think it is.
Yeah. And just
have a conversation where we see Brandon King gets a rest, and Django and August and these guys come in, and a couple of players get a rest. Ramon Simmons might get a game. It would be good for those guys to get a game.
Kevin, you and Sammy, remember when he dropped the catch? You could tell he was going through a hard time, but what I liked is almost all the players in his periphery came and said, "Yo, big man, put your head up." All of them, like basically. So
they know what's going on with him right now. They know his confidence is low.
Yeah.
And you need that from your teammates in when you're in that moment. You need a teammate, not somebody to shun you off and get at you.
Yeah, I don't think he should be dropped. I really hope they don't. And I know we get a track record of doing that kind of stupidness. If we just rest him.
There's New Zealand next week. You understand? So he gets a break from the limelight from right here, this last match. But you bring him back next week, right?
Yeah.
You bring him back next week. So give him a rest. All these players look. You have to realize something. A lot of the Shea Hope, even though Shea is batting well, them guys look jaded.
Yeah, they're tired. They can tell.
You understand me?
I would rest a whole lot of them.
Even though Sharfin wasn't in India, but he CPL and disc cricket and duck cricket and all kinds of cricket he's been playing. Them guys are jaded.
And that is where these cricketers I know people trying to make as much money as possible. And I guess that's why Nicky P did what he did. Maybe one reason, other than the fact we were here, but we ain't got mentioned though. My point is that, like, you could tell that they're playing too much of cricket. There's so much of cricket. Kajiso Rabada was watching on the podcast with Mo and Ali and them. He's saying that, yo, we're playing a lot of cricket. We're tired. He said it.
Not just a lot of cricket, a lot of traveling. Traveling takes a lot out of you. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think that's the main problem.
Yo, I know about traveling, fellas. Yeah. Sammy, you see my commute. You see my commute. You see my commute.
Your commute. Oh yeah, of course. Hats off to you on that.
Because check it out. Them guys is done play a tournament here, hop on a plane, gone someplace else, play another tournament, hop on a plane. They might play 2 games here, hop on the next play. It's the
Kevin and Walter. when you think of our cricketers, and not only our cricketers, cricketers in general, their travel is somewhat similar to people going to war, Kevy. You know, you jump on a plane and you fly how many hours to go to some place.
Listen.
Right? All right. All right. All right.
Anyways,
I tell you, we have to let it in this region. Look, this big storm hit. One of the institutions in Jamaica which will be at the forefront of this cleanup will be the Jamaican Defense Force. Right? Our cricket, we need to find a way to incorporate our military institutions. You have them in every Caribbean country. Utilize them. When Mikey Holding said men need for fast bowlers need to do a lot of running. All right. Let them go down to Camp in Ghana or up Park Camp or wherever and let them men start them out.
Real talk.
Good night, Kim. Sorry, Kim. Good night, Kim.
Anyways, fellas, good catching up with you guys tonight. Once again, fellas, or people, I should say, West Indies won by 14 runs earlier today. I thought it was a good defense of a low total on a good wicket. It was a good sporting wicket, right? I thought the bowling today was even better than the last match, right? I thought the guys bowled really well today. Would really like to see more of that. You know, I would really like to see
more bowled Sheppy.
Well bowled Sheppy. You know, well bowled Sheppy. He held his nerve today. He was on song today. I know how to give Sheppy enough flack, right? But when as I just always say, when them guys do good things, you gotta recognize it, right?
Yeah.
So, well done, Akil. Akil has went to Bangladesh and has done phenomenally well.
I thought about something. Thank you for reminding me. I am ridiculous enough to put Akil in my test team in New Zealand. I'm not.
Somebody. I got a friend that is campaigning hard for Akil to be in the West Indies test team. You understand?
We can talk about that another.
Yeah, we can talk about that another time. I really would like to know where Akil Hussein's mind is with regards to if he would be approached to play Test cricket. I would love to know what are his thoughts, on him playing Test cricket. I think he can do it. I think he has the talent to do it, right? I think he has the tools to succeed at that level. But we'll see. Anyways, fellas, catch y'all later.
All right.
Top of off.
Yeah, man.
West Indies cricket, it in we veins. One
Go
love.
Blue Jays.